guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for tonight's video, we're going to be reading some more scary stories. It is now officially spooky season. It is October 4th or 5th today, and I think it's the 4th. It's the 4th today that I'm filming this, and I don't have any makeup on because I am literally running around today because I'm going to my brother's wedding tomorrow, and I have to go get my eyebrows tinted and waxed and stuff later on today, and you can't wear makeup for that. And then I have to go walk one of the dogs in my neighborhoods because I do that as a side gig in like an hour. So I only have a short amount of time to film today, so I didn't feel like putting on makeup. So you're just gonna have to deal with my normal face. My hair is super long now. It's not a wig. These are extensions, so that is my new look going forward. I have extensions and I'm very excited. I also still have my wig walls, but I wanted extensions for my brother's wedding. So if you guys are wondering how I just miraculously grew all of my hair, well, it's extensions. Anyway, as you can tell, like my real hair is like 3 inches long, so. Anyway, with all that rambling out of the way, I'm going to be reading some more of your guys' creepy stories. I do have a bunch of Reddit stories saved here, and these ones are all real stories, so these are not fictional stories. So I'm really excited to jump into them because I know a lot of you guys want more of the real stories rather than just like all the fictional ones. But I find that the fictional ones tend to create longer videos, so there's a little bit of give and take with both. If you want longer videos, we're just gonna have to do fictional stories. If you are okay with shorter videos, then I can read some of the personalized, creepy stories. But let's jump into the first one. The first one is from the True Scary Stories section. It is from the Reddit author Pancakes So Good, and it is titled, Happened When I Was a Kid, but Still Traumatized Me. This happened when I was a little girl. I was around 9 or 10 years old. It was in the summertime, and it was about 2 seconds of a mile from our farmhouse. The accident was at the corner of 2 roads. We lived way out in the country in the Midwest, and we weren't home when it happened, but could see the aftermath in that evening. The next day, out of curiosity, I asked my mom if I could ride my bike up to the corner. She agreed, but she asked me not to go any further. She was hanging laundry on the clothesline and kept an eye on me as I rode up. We lived in a really, really safe area where my brother and I rode our bikes all of the time, so I wasn't really scared. I got to the corner and I got off my bike and I started looking around at some of the leftover debris. Nothing much, but as a kid, you're just curious. As I was looking around, 2 creepy guys in a station wagon pulled up, and I got bad vibes straight away. They asked me which one of them was cuter, and all I could think of was to run, hop on my bike, and ride as fast as I could towards my house. Fortunately, their car was facing west on a gravel road and I was headed east down a blacktop road, so I got a little bit of a head start. As I looked back, I could see them turn around and start following me. I started screaming at the top of my lungs and I was pedaling fast as I could. My mom saw me and started running towards me. When the car got a little ways down the road and saw my mom, stopped immediately, turned around, and headed the other direction. My mom called the police, but there wasn't a lot that they could do as I didn't take any info. To this day, the whole incident and their faces are burned in my memory. When I hear stories of little girls being abducted, I think that could have been me. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Why would grown-ass adults ask a 9-year-old who they thought was cuter? That is just like disgusting. Like, what the fuck? Okay, thank you so much for allowing me to read that story, and that story is really fucking gross and creepy, and I hate that. The next one is from the Spoopy Cjades section. It is from the Reddit author Do-Campaign5535, and it's titled Inception Night Terror. While my son was at school, I decided to let my daughter watch TV while I took a nap before I had to bring my son back home. I lay down, and it had felt like a few minutes had passed when I woke up at the text from my husband that read, I forgot to get our son from practice, so I had to leave early to go and get him. In the back of my mind, I thought that was odd. My son isn't in sports, and I wasn't sure what he was even talking about, but I texted back, I was sorry. I looked towards my open bedroom door, and I saw a black shadow standing in the doorway before my eyes were forced shut. It literally felt like I had no control over my body, and I was forced to fall asleep again. The next time I woke up, it was to the sound of my front door shutting, and I could hear my son and husband talking, as well as the sound of my daughter's TV show playing. I tried to force myself up so I could go see them, but it felt impossible, like I was trying to walk through tar. And every time I pushed myself up, I fell back into the bed. I managed to make it to my cat, Ira, and I picked her up, and I fell back onto the bed holding her to my chest. In the middle of petting the cat, my husband walked into the room and stood at the edge of our bed, and that's when I noticed he was also holding our cat. I looked at him, and I said, how are you doing that if I'm holding her right now? My husband didn't reply to me. Instead, he gave me a large smile, and when I looked down, I wasn't holding Ira anymore. I was holding a doll the size of my 6-year-old. I screamed and I shoved it off me, and my eyes were forced closed again. When I opened my eyes for a third time, I could hear my husband speaking to my oldest sister in our bathroom. I tried to get up again, but the most I could do was push myself to my side, to the bathroom, and call out his name. "Are you home? Are you on the phone with my sister?" I hear him end the call, and he walks into the room, standing at the edge of the bed once again. When he responds, his mouth remains in a grin, unmoving. "What are you even talking about? I haven't been talking at all." I felt like my head was pushed down and my eyes were forced closed again. When I opened my eyes for the fourth time, I was terrified. I was laying on my back staring at the ceiling, and I was absolutely paralyzed. I tried to move my fingers and my hands, and I tried waving my hand in front of my face, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't feel it. I literally thought I was having a stroke. Then a phone call snapped me out of whatever hell this situation had been. The ringing of the phone felt like cold water on my skin. I realized I was moving my hand, but a pillow had fallen on my face, covering one of my eyes, so I couldn't see my hand, waving in front of my face. I turned to grab my phone and my husband was calling me. I answered and I realized I had only been asleep for maybe 10 minutes. I was very shaken up from the experience. Even telling people about it gives me the ick, but I thought someone might find my horror interesting. Sorry about the grammar and punctuation. That's fucking terrifying. I hate sleep paralysis and like really vivid dreams like that feel real, but like you're obviously dreaming. Those are terrifying. Like I don't know, something about that just freaks me the fuck out, because being trapped in like a dream where you can't escape and it's just like looping is just like my worst nightmare. I absolutely hate that. So thank you so much for allowing me to read your story. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is from the True Scary Story section, and it's from the Reddit author _Lil-Andy_, and it's titled, "I Swear It Was Locked." I was around 13 or 14 years old when this happened. I used to sleep over at my cousin's house almost every weekend, and we'd spend the entire weekend playing games until the early hours, and weird things always seemed to happen. He lived with his family in a huge 2-story house, and even though it was furnished, it felt eerily empty. Strange noises and odd sightings were common, but as a kid, playing late into the night, getting spooked in the dark was pretty normal. But one time, my cousin went to take a shower in his bathroom, and I decided to use the master bedroom's ensuite since his parents were away. It was just the two of us in the house. As I entered the bathroom, I locked the door and I started my shower. During the shower, I heard a noise and I looked at the door. And that's when I saw the door slowly creaking open, revealing someone peering in. Due to the small gap, I couldn't see the person's face. My innocent mind thought, oh, I must have left the door slightly open and someone accidentally pushed it. So I confidently exclaimed, "It's occupied," but the door didn't close. It lingered open for a few more seconds until the person closed it slowly. When I finished my shower and I tried to leave, I realized the door was locked. And the only way to lock it was from the inside. That was the last time I slept over at my cousin's house, and to this day, I still have no idea who or what opened that door. That's really eerie. That's creepy. I hate that so much. I'm glad nothing actually happened to you, but that's just like not okay. I hate that. The next story that I'm going to read is from the ghost stories section. It is from the Reddit author sensitive_ad5521, and it's titled, "Remembering the Ghost My Roommates and I Lived With Years Ago." Allow me to set the scene. After my freshman year of college, my randomly assigned roommate turned best friend and another girl on our floor who we became very close with in the dorms all decided to rent a house together the following year. The other girl, her stepdad flipped houses and had recently renovated this place that was 2 blocks from the campus. It was a 3-bedroom that cost us around $300 to $400 a month each. Really affordable for a bunch of 19-year-olds. The house itself was gorgeous, with a sunroom, a basement, with a washer and dryer, 2 beds on the main floor, with a bathroom, and basically an upstairs suite with a huge master and walk-in closet and private bathroom. The other girl took the whole floor to herself since it was her dad's place, and didn't pay rent because her family thought she was too busy with cheerleading and her sorority. That's a whole separate conversation leading up to why my best friend and I moved out. The important thing is, my friend and I had 2 main level rooms just off the living room with a bathroom between us. I don't even remember when the paranormal experiences started. I do remember by October, we moved in August. It was enough that our dumbasses did a seance and had already named our ghost Claire. With all of the windows closed, we asked her a bunch of questions and she moved the candle different directions for a yes or no. Things were really bad for my friend and mildly annoying for me. This all happened on the main level and the third girl never experienced anything. My friend would experience sleep paralysis frequently and wake up to a woman sitting on top of her or see her standing in the corner near her closet door. The sink in the bathroom between our rooms would turn on and off all throughout the night. For me, she would open my door and get into bed with me. The funny thing is, at first, I didn't even realize it was the ghost doing it, as the third roommate had a cat and I assumed the cat was on the bed pretty often. After a while, I would feel the weight pushing down on the bed, and I would keep turning around to no one there. I turned my back, and a second later, the weight would get closer to me. Turn around, and again, nothing. I worked 12-hour shifts on Saturdays and would be so exhausted, I just started to let it happen. It was so frequent, it wasn't even worth the fight to get up and close my door or roll over and check the empty bed. I only saw her once. I was home alone and I was deep cleaning my room. The light was on in the living room, in my room creating a sort of triangle of darkness in the short hallway. I was pulling the vacuum out of my room when out of the corner of my eye, a woman with dark hair was standing behind me. She was so real. Both my roommates had dark hair, and I jumped and said, "Oh my God, you scared the shit out of me," as I was turning around, and when I finished turning, there was no one there. This was the first time Claire actually scared me. My friend and I moved out a few months later due to a lot of issues with the third roommate. In the years following, whenever the experiences get brought up, my friend is in near tears talking about the terror that Claire put her through at night. Whereas I joke often about how I had a ghost girlfriend cuddling with me every single night. I don't know why she was so nice to me. In some ways, I feel bad that she revealed herself to me and I was terrified of her. She seemed harmless, just very active. Then again, she was also awful to my friend, and that's also super unexplainable. I think the funniest part of this story, though, is when constantly living with an active entity, you do eventually get used to whatever they're doing. Between nursing school for my friend and classes plus 30-hour weeks of work at a standing job, at some point, I need sleep no matter who's in the bed. And that's the entire story. That's really creepy. I'm really happy that nothing actually happened to you, but that is kind of crappy that your friend had such a bad experience with that entity. So that really sucks, but I'm glad you guys moved out. And the last story that I'm gonna read is from the ghost story section again. It is from the Reddit author Tyler6, and it's titled, My First Paranormal Experience. When I was roughly 8 or 9, I lived with just my mother in a townhouse next to the coast. One night, I was laying in my single bed trying to sleep, until I could feel my bed covers slowly being pulled down as if someone was at the bottom of my bed pulling the covers off me. My first instinct was to pull them back over myself, but it was super difficult, as it felt like I was playing tug of war with someone. I leaped out of my bed to see who was playing tricks on me, only to find no one was at the end of my bed. Me being scared and confused, I went downstairs to find my mom. At the bottom of the stairs is a door which leads to the kitchen, dining room, and other bedroom where my mom sleeps. As I opened the door at the bottom of the stairs, I could see and hear a pair of what looked to be white studded cowboy boots walking across the floor and eventually turning a corner into the kitchen. I quickly ran to my mother's bedroom and I slept under her bed all night in fear. While I'm on the topic, I should add that this isn't the only encounter with the paranormal that I've had in that house. I was sleeping once again in my bed only to suddenly wake up and find my boxes full of toys had been pulled out from under my bed. I pushed the boxes back under the bed, only to wake up an hour later and find they had been pulled out again. This, I can't say for certain, was paranormal, but I know for a fact my mother didn't do that, and it was only me and her in the house. And I believe my mom. Oh my God, that's really fucking creepy. Having something pull on your covers at night is like my worst fear. Or like having something like pull on your legs at night. I've seen way too many Paranormal Activity like movies to like, that just terrifies me. And the fact that you guys have actually experienced that in real life freaks me the fuck out. I hate that so much. Having anything pull on my bed or my legs or anything at night is just like a huge no. Absolutely not. I would sage my house or I would move. Fuck that. And the cowboy boots was really creepy. So I'm curious if you have any more stories that you would like to share with me on the channel for more of your creepy stories, because I would love to hear more of your stories. If you have any more that you would like to share, please feel free to message me. If you guys have any creepy stories you guys want to share with the channel, because it is spooky season, it is October, I will be reading more creepy stories as the month progresses, and I will try to do them as often as I can. This weekend I'm really busy. I'm headed out of town for my brother's wedding. I am just trying to film this and edit this and post this immediately, and then I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, but I'm hoping in the week to come, I will have a video every couple of days or so. I probably won't be posting like every single day in October because it's already the 4th and I haven't posted yet. But I will try my best to post as much as I possibly can because I do have 2 jobs and this is my other side job. So I will try my best. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys did make it to the end of the video, please leave me your favorite Halloween emoji down in my comment section. It does help me know that you guys made it to the end of the video, and it really does help me boost my video on the algorithm for YouTube to let you guys know you're engaging and you guys are actually interested in my content. And if you guys have any creepy stories you want to share with me, please feel free to click the links below. They'll be in a pinned comment. So you guys can either send me your stories over Instagram or you can send them to me over my email, and I would love to read you guys' creepy stories. And if they are appropriate, I will definitely read them on the channel. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.